are back on our home deck, our home soil in the ripping state of WA for another great podcast. Old Bull Young Buck. My name's David Mundy.
Hi, Dave.
And again with me is my good mate, Griffin Logue. How are you?
Good, mate's nice, generous, mate. But yeah, good on you. It's good to be back home, mate. Home soil. Nothing better. It's weather's actually hasn't turned it on too much for us, really, has it? It's been blowing a Chrissy gale today when we were training. So,
but I think in contrast with Melbourne and Tasmania, it was a balmy morning this morning. It was quite nice.
Yeah, no, it was nice. I was surprised actually with Tassie was actually clear skies and not wet, nothing at all. So, I've got nice words to say about it so far. But yeah, it's good. How about you, mate?
Hang on, before we move on,
Yeah.
let's just reflect on that. So, Tasmania, overall feelings of it? You've
Yeah.
never been there before. You had a lot of sceptical views going in, but okay.
A lot of it's just the Moose carrying on saying how much he loved Tassie and it's a great state and blah, blah, blah. So it was more so shutting that down. But yeah, in his defence, and to his credit, it's a nice state. Launceston's not much to write home about, but the weather was nice. So
Better than
Yeah.
South Australia?
yeah, it's definitely takes South Australia easy. Takes it the cleaners, mate. So Australia's got no idea.
I'm glad you had a good
Sorry,
time.
South Australia.
No, you're not.
No, you're right. How about you, mate? Good to see the kids.
Yeah.
Really missed
Sunday
them.
morning was pretty hectic.
Yeah.
Figured out that I was out of parenting practice and fell out of that practice pretty quickly. With 2 weeks away.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, it was great to be home and in amongst the tribe. So yeah, it was good fun. What about
good,
you
mate.
Sunday morning? What did it involve for you?
Nah, not much, mate. Sleep in, chill out. It was rainy and wet, so I didn't do too much.
So we've got something a little bit different today. We've pivoted from our plan, and our original plan has come to fruition. We're very excited about our guest. We'll get to it in a little bit, but reflecting back on last week's pod with Josh Carr, did you like that?
Yeah, loved it. I think he's a funny man. Would have been nice to hear some more stories, but didn't want to delve into it too deep. So he's had a pretty interesting life and good career, but all I got out of it is just a bit of a meathead, just wants to punch people. So
Bit of small man syndrome.
yeah,
going on there,
he's
isn't
very cool, calm, collected now. Wears the specs and stuff, so he's you would mess with him, but I don't reckon I would have messed with him back in the day. I reckon he would have run through me. So
Do you think the specs are a bit of a guise? People don't punch blokes in glasses.
I don't know. I don't know what he's got. He's got
Bit like
something.
our upcoming guest, maybe. But
Yeah, possibly.
My favourite part was the Siren Gate story. In particular, the wanting to biffo Aaron Hamill, who was not playing that day.
Yeah,
in his civvies.
yeah, it's some running contest he had going on with him and hated his guts. So it was funny having a crack at someone in suit. So good on him as well. But just backs me up saying he's a bit of a meathead though, doesn't it? So anyway, can't wait any longer now. To the viewers and listeners, we promised the world, but we're going to deliver an atlas. We're going to get Fifey on. Anyways, be great, mate. I had a lot to do with my life, especially in the footy time, and had a lot of good memories with him. And anyway, without further ado, Train, welcome on, mate.
G'day, mate. 5 minutes, big fellas here, boys. The big fellas here.
How are you, mate?
Yeah,
Good
very
to see you.
good.
Back in Perth for a little bit, or
I have been. So I got here and you guys left. So it's been raining since, but very good to see your faces. And I'm actually coming Thursday, past players event. So the first one for me here.
good.
Very excited. So it's a pleasure to be on the show. I'm hearing Fifey's pulled out
He's worried, yeah.
prior. So we'll put that on air. I think Fifey, a bit of feedback. Maybe this is the biggest podcast in Australia. I don't know. Maybe he's a bit nervous, performance anxiety. I've been there on game day. He hasn't. He delivers. So maybe I can talk to him off field about
get into his
how
ear,
to get
mate.
how to get on the podcast and just deliver. So hopefully he gets on the show because he's a big name.
Thanks for that one, Chompers.
Thanks, mate. It's a great start. Before we get into it too deeply, how many years were you at Freo at Coburn?
Yeah,
Couple?
2 or 3. I can't remember.
And you've got lost on the way here today.
Yeah, which brings back a bad memory when we moved here. I went down Stock Road thinking I was on North Lake.
Right.
And I was just cruising and pumping tunes in. Chris let me borrow his Ferrari. The 1989 Camry he's got there. And then I realised I was on the wrong road. So, yeah, I was 10 minutes late,
There's
boys.
something about you've got no idea driving around Perth, though, do you?
No.
I was telling the boys before last time you were here, you called me and Tabs asking where can you go and do a run. You said, "Oh, mate, I don't know. You've been here for 7 years. You decide where to go." He goes, "Oh, mate, just tell me somewhere to run." He said, "Oh, go to Cod Oval Train," and he just how do I get there, boys? Like,
Oh, that's a bit of mayo.
Have
I
you
know,
lost
I know where cod is. Well, when you play footy professionally, you find yourself, you never really train anywhere but, the Arc or Freo's Oval. So trying to find a nice deck.
Well, yeah, even
nice
then, mate, you
cooch.
couldn't even find today's joint, so you got no leg to stand on. You got lost on the way here.
Yeah,
so.
I did. Yeah, it's embarrassing, but I'm
It's
here.
fine, mate.
It's good to be here. How you,
Good on you.
Dave?
Going well, mate.
Show
So,
us your hands. Oh, they're not poisoned. No, they're all right. They're all right.
thanks, mate.
That's what happens when you have 30 and
60% game time, actually.
consistently.
Don't forget that.
Let's extrapolate that one out. Not a bad day. So Griff has gone into it really early, but the nickname Chompers. You want to talk us through the origins of that and if you like it?
Mate, I'm used to. I can't really say what I get called all the time, but you can call me anything and I'll turn my head around. Chompers is off the footy show. Tony Jones. A bit rich me getting into him about his teeth with the size of mine.
Do a big set of teeth, don't you?
Yeah,
I reckon it would have been first couple of weeks of meeting him. I reckon I told Tommy he's got some black spot in his tooth. But it's just that big gap. Got a big gap in it. Dead set guys. Just
I don't
thought I was joking. And just said,
I get it all the time. Even like Kepler Bradley, Freo, I still remember it. So whose wedding was it? The Spurs wedding. And we're in a group and I hadn't seen him for a while. He's like stopped me mid-story. I'm telling a story. Mate, you've got a chia seed in your teeth. And I'm like, mate, I don't. It's a gap. I don't know what's going on. I want to sort it out. I'll get veneers soon if I keep getting the feedback. And he's like, no, man, I'm telling you, there's something in your teeth. Anyway, so I get that all the time. But I'm glad you pointed it out, Griff.
Thanks, mate.
You've actually got something in your teeth right now, a bit of spinach.
We just come from lunch.
You're serious or not?
I'm being serious.
Sort that out. I'll talk to Train about his next one.
Yeah, there you go.
More affectionately known as Train by a lot of the guys. What's the origins of that one?
Oh, yeah, probably self-proclaimed. I don't know. I used to call myself the T-Train when Fraser Garrick was getting around, and then Mick Barlow called me Train. This was when I was 15 years old, and Mick Barlow's stuck with Train, and it's I don't really know why, but it's stuck. So
big Fraser Garrick was your idol?
Just that, talking about yourself in third person. I just love the way you go about it. Clearly, we look nothing alike, so it was more of a piss take. And then, it's stuck. Train stuck. So, you know what a footy club's like. Once you get called something, it sticks. Train was the nickname.
Nice. And while we're on nicknames, we'll wrap this up really quickly, but you were really close with Tabs in your time and still are. Nickname him The Dark.
Yeah. Big weirdo, dark, whatever. Yeah, big Tabsy cat. He's had a few, but the big duck, he just hates it, doesn't he? Or now he's used to it, but we were comparing him to Wayne Carey, and he was quite ashamed.
No.
Yeah,
can't say that, Tom. No.
Yeah, so when someone hates something,
it's the rule of
nicknames.
you can't hate it.
Touched this, I reckon, last time. Well, our previous podcast, maybe one before, but if you react poorly to a nickname, it's going to be your nickname for the rest of your life.
So once he did that, it was stuck. And to be honest, since we've named him the Duck, his career's taken off. So
hasn't he?
It looks even better.
He's been the brunt of a few stories, a few gags on this show already from a number of guests. But what do you love about Tabs?
Oh, just how weird he is. But he's just so intelligent and so different, and he's so funny. Like he's one of the funniest. Like you two, it's just pure comedy. He's kind of mellowed over the years, I reckon. Yep. But yeah, he's a different cat.
Adjusting to the system.
Get him on this, and you'll see why. Because he
refuses to come on.
Yeah,
for all the listeners out there, try and pump him up again, but he won't come on.
So we're trying to tell nice stories about him, trying to show him the love, and maybe he'll come on.
He knows it'll be an ambush when he gets on.
He's going to
find too much dirt on him, I reckon.
Yeah,
be easy.
So we've delved into the records books, Train. We've gone back into your football career a little bit. We're just going to talk through some of the things we've found. So drafted number 16 in 2011 from Riddles Creek, Calder Cannons, the footy factory of Calder. Did you guys win the title that year?
No, we actually lost in the prelim, but we won the one before.
As an underager,
yeah. So won the flag the year before.
Position
and then,
where you train?
On the wing, up and down. And up and down all day, you know how it is. And then top age, we lost the prelim. We should have won that, but we actually had a great Victorian team. So our state team went 5-0.
Right,
had a really good team, and still mates with a lot of them.
Yeah, right. Nice
Before we get past any further in the draft interview, we've got word from Dave Walls. Told a story that
this is mayonnaise.
Mate, this is Dinkin. We saw him on the weekend. Anyway, so Dave Walls, and he's had a meeting. So Tommy had a meeting with Brisbane. I think it was from memory. His name's Stephen Canola. Anyway, and he's gone, Tom, we're just not sure. We know you're a skillful player. We don't know. This is Dave Walls. Dave Walls has said this. So this is honestly what happened. He goes, Tom, we know you're a skillful player. We just don't know if you've got the pace for AFL. And Tom's looked him in the eyes and goes, mate, Tommy puts the Jets on, he burns them.
I believe that. 100%.
Disgrace, man.
You get told that, you get told that, you'd be like, oh, he didn't say that. When you meet the man, you go, mate, you probably said that. This is Dave Walls. He's a pretty good reputation. You would have said something along the lines, but
still got no idea. But I had genuinely no idea. I had like 14 interviews, mate. I was just,
Tommy puts the Jets
I would have said some outrageous stuff, but they loved it.
Nice. We saw it a bit at Subi Oval on the wings, up and down, as you said. So drafted 2011, debuted v Melbourne, 2012. Memories from that day leading in?
Yeah. I remember Ibo's 100th game maybe, or it was a milestone game for him. I was the sub, and the sub, one of the worst rules ever.
Get that one a bit?
Now. Yeah, so got that for the first game. So it was kind of like just let the big dog out of the cage. Not big dog, little dog. I was sitting on the bench for so long, like, any moment now, every big hit, you're like warming up, would have done 1,000 run throughs. And then I think it was the end of I can't even remember, it was the end of the third. I come on and I got cleaned up straight away, got a free kick, got 50-metre penalty, kicked it, turned it over. Kind of all happened real quick. It was good to come straight in the game and just kind of get hit and just be, in it.
Jump in,
And that was kind of all I remember. I remember like at the very end, Mick Barlow lowered his eyes and it was just like a little bit, I was running left and the ball was a bit to my right and you can like stick an arm out and couldn't really get it. So that would have been a shot for goal. So that would have been awesome. But other than that, we won and it was the last game of the year and then we the Gatorade shout was pretty special.
Yeah, nice. Filthy on Mick that he missed you?
Filthy, mate. Filthy.
Come on, mate.
Had Riddles Creek community behind me. Had 3 touches, did nothing.
So then went on to play 81 games for Freo, 2 for GWS. Received 1 Brownlow vote. Do you remember the game?
Yeah, do against Essendon. Had it on a string. How can you forget that, mate? It's probably the first game I played well. It was we played Essendon that Asada year, so half their players weren't playing, and
that was 2016. 30 posies, 1 goal.
Yeah.
Nice. First win of the year for us in a pretty tough year.
I do remember actually because it was a tough year.
Yeah.
It's a pretty tough year, Griff. 0-10 after being minor premiers.
Owen.
Yeah, Owen. Yeah.
It was a tough one. And then went on and kicked 31 goals in your career. Best one?
Oh, mates with Rory Atkins. So kicking one from the junction there on him was pretty special.
Was that at home as well?
Yeah, it was at home.
Get into him after it? Tell him about it?
Still telling him about it. It's probably the only thing I remember.
Played him in 2K the night before, didn't you? FIFA or something.
Played him in 2K, walloped him there. It's great.
And are you still filthy at Hilly for not giving you the handball in the final in Geelong?
Nah.
You were right there. Almost tripping him over.
That's me highlight. That's my only highlight of my career, mate. Just the 100-metre shepherd to no one. It's about the much airtime I've ever got. That was a special moment. That whole passage of play. Can't really watching it on video is funny. Like I remember being open, but I remember celebrating, and I just remember the fans. We had like 5,000 in the on the grandstand there, and it just felt like there was 40. It was an amazing game to be a part of, and that was a special memory for I think a lot of boys that played in that team.
I'm still sticking with the playing days train. Probably not really the figure that you'd expect from a man who's been in the system for 7, 8 years or so, but not to worry anyway. One of the quotes that we got from Tabs was, you don't waste skin folds on yellow lollies. So you love your lollies, train, the Starburst.
Yeah, that's true. You don't waste skin folds on the yellow and potentially the orange.
Orange is probably questionable, but anyway, you're a good runner. That's one thing you were.
Good.
May not have the best. Good. Really, the time trials, you were grand final, weren't they?
Yeah, it's all I had. Yeah. That's all I had. And I had a big off season. I'd always travel and enjoy myself. Yeah, so it's always nerve-wracking though, because my times are getting, every year, they get quicker just by a couple seconds. Yeah. So it gets harder and harder and harder. So that's all I had, mate. The endurance and then when the footies come out, it was an even playing field.
Lungs like far lap though, don't you? Heart like far lap, both. lungs and heart.
Were there any interesting bets it was our 3K time trial during those years? Anything, any interesting stories?
Yeah, well, where's Ryan Crowley at? He owes me. So I had a bet with Ryan Crowley. Ryan Crowley was a gun runner. Yep. he was coming to the end. I was just starting to get, I think I was third year in. So he had an injury, I reckon, and I said, being a bit just
cheeky Tom,
cheeky, very cheeky actually, just showing off. I don't even think I'd played a game, saying I'm going to smash you on day one. Let's put anything on the line. And it was like in the lunchroom, and everyone's getting around just because how outrageous the call was. So I can't remember what we had on it, whether it was just a cash amount or whatever, but
no, I think it was jeans and joggers.
That's right. It was
week,
fashion. He loved his fashion. So I said, all right, if I win, you've got to wear what I buy you from the Salvos, like a horrendous kit for a week. And we used to go down the street, and Krause prided himself on his appearance, and I did. I beat him, but
smashed him.
He's yet to fulfill that. So Krause, if you're watching, mate, we haven't forgotten.
Got to pay your debts.
Train still got the outfit waiting for him.
So you're like Chris joggers, actually, yeah.
Oh, yeah, nice one. So you're a man of the pranks, Train. So talk us through the infamous Chris Bain prank where you've hidden his orthotics.
Yeah.
Jace Webber's nearly torn the roof off the joint looking for him.
Yeah, well, Dave, I think, I'm not sure if a lot of boys know. I said it on one other podcast, but
Geez, you just go on any podcast, don't you?
No, not many. Only special ones, obviously. And I was I got tapped out for a tight calf, or probably a tight calf, but it was the first session I'd missed in pre-season, and
this
got
is
told to
first
do
year, yeah?
Yeah, first year, second month in. Outrageous, just outrageous. Can't believe I did this. And Maney and Ballas were doing all the pranks. You know how Ballas would put Gatorade cups, pull it out, all it goes. Yeah. And they're doing it to me, but then they started doing it to each other, and I thought, I'm just going to intercept here and get right in the middle of it on my day off. I had to come and see Stocker on my day off, so no one's around.
2 months in, you're not really friends with them yet, are you?
No, they don't talk to you.
They don't have your respect.
No one looks at you till you play, mate. Anyway, no, they do. They're good fellas, but that. Anyway, so I've gone into his box of boots, grabbed his 2 Asics, chucked them in. I remember chucking one in J Van Beerlo's locker, and then just tossed the other one, just completely hit it. I'm like, this will be beautiful. Like tomorrow, him and Ballas will be going at it. So I'm in the gym, doing this upper body session because I wasn't training. And I'll never forget, they've called this massive man, oi, get in. And it's Jace Webber. Whoever's got Matey's boots, enough's enough. You're now starting to interfere with training. And this is Ross's first year. And I'm in the gym, mate, and I'm like, it's going down in there. And I'm like, and then it's getting really everyone's going, who's got him? And then it got really serious. They pulled everyone off the track. I'll never forget, Pav walks up the stairs at Freo. Boys, enough's enough. It's been 15 minutes now, and you're starting to interfere with our training. We want to get better. Who's got him? And swearing and carrying on. And I'm like, that's it. Rehab out as well. So I've come out. And mate, I'm about to pass out. I'm like, do I? No, I can't own up to this. I can't own up to this. Imagine it was me. Everyone like, that guy. So I was just sitting there, and I was literally in shock. And I was like, where'd I put it? So I found the one out of J Van Beerlo's locker. I'm like, oh, is this it? It was like, how'd you find that? I don't know. It was ASIC and that. Everyone started to look at me, and then so I just didn't find the other one. I was like, I'm not going to find the other one. It's too obvious. So they're looking around, and then, oh mate, the next couple of weeks, everyone's like, who was it? And I'm at coffee with everyone, man, who would do that? Yeah. And then I was
just lied through
just lied to me.
Tell anyone?
Didn't tell anyone. I think I told Cam Sutcliffe 2 years in. I was like, mate, you remember that day? He's like, is that you? I was like, yeah. I'm like, mate, I just forgot about it. I was like, it's going to ruin me reps already. So, yeah, you don't do that stuff in your first 2 months, Griff.
That's not bad.
But that was a bit of a stitch up. And the reason was because he needed his heel out of his boot. He didn't need the boots. He needed the orthotics. So I didn't think that one through, did I?
That was a good laugh, though.
Yeah,
it's a good laugh now.
It was actually wasn't that funny because I was the only one that knew about it and meant to share these things with people. So, yeah, they're good memories. Yeah. And the other prank is Ballas. Ballas used to put deep heat in my undies and think it's hilarious. And I'd be last into the meeting and quick have a shower after a big session, run in and sit back, and Ballas is looking behind. I'm at the back, and he's just and I'm just like, oh, just on fire, the jocks. So that's that's one I remember.
That's good, mate. Still touch on your first year as well. There was just a cooking challenge at the club or something. It's got word that you just absolutely carried on. Did a 3-course. You meant to just do a simple chicken and salad meal or something. You've done a 3-course meal, gone overtime, couple of hours, sprayed everyone from falling asleep when they're playing 2K, waiting for you to cook their meal.
I can't really remember. I do know that I did take my cooking quite seriously though, as Dave would know, he's a beneficiary of the old Swan Brewery, 8-course meal. Greg Farnham.
Mm-hmm.
That was my
Not
that was my off-field work.
Not really your cooking though, was it?
Oh, I'd at least bring the plates out and pretend that I did. I did the Marin.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, don't remember the cook-off, to be honest, Griff.
So you mentioned as well when you're putting your jocks on with Ballas, you're always a bit late. Being late's cost you a few times under Ross the boss, and generally, we said last night, Tabs was involved a fair bit.
Yeah, being friends with Tabs hurt. If Tabs was late, I was attached to it.
So talk us through a few times where you've.
Well, I've got heaps, man.
Admittedly, you'd had to go to the toilet a few times, but you can't really control that. You can't control the
bowels.
bowels.
Yeah, trying to keep this as G-rated as possible, but essentially the human body, you need to go to the toilet before a game.
Yeah.
And we're playing out in...
Nerves, mate. Nerves, yeah.
Yeah, so...
A lot of Gatorade, a lot of sugar.
First of all, we've moved into this amazing facility, right? So Fremantle...
This is here. So this is...
Right here.
Yeah.
Day one, meeting in the lecture theatre.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the lecture theatre is. So I've rocked up. I'm actually in the players' locker room, which is next door to the lecture theatre.
It's a bit of a maze. It's kind of... It's a weird setup.
It's first day. It's a maze. So the meeting's in 3 minutes, or 2 minutes it is. So I'm like, you should be in there 3 minutes early, What did I say? 5 minutes early, 5 minutes late.
Yep.
So I'm like, I've still got time. So I've like sprinted down the hallway and I'm sprinting to the entrance, which is the wrong way.
150 metres on. It's fair, probably more actually. 200 metres long.
Yeah, so Tabs has been sprayed by Ross already and they're always together. And so Tabs has apparently walked in like 2 minutes early and he's like, why is it no surprise it's you? Why is it no surprise? And Tabs is like, sits down. And then I'm down the other end. I don't forget, Jason was like, mate, it's that way. I'm like, no. So I've got all my stuff. I'm like running down there. And I like jump in, like push the door. And like, I think Ross has just given his spiel to Tabs. And he's like, righto, let's get into it. And as he starts his clip, in comes me. And he's like, oh, why is it no surprise? It's always you and Tabs. And I was like, oh, mate, I swear. He's like, oh, what's the excuses? It's always something. What is it now? I'm like, mate, this bloody lecture did. I don't know where it was. And he's like, sit down. It's had enough. And then like that week we played West Coast, JLT. Geraldton. And I was in the midfield and I was actually having a good pre-season. I'd made the move inside, being skinnier. I was actually having a good pre-season. So I lost my half-back position, which I'd played like 40 games in a row at. Lockie Weller's moved up. I've come inside. Anyway, before the meeting, there's this really small room and there's this toilet and I'm waiting for the one toilet because I was a bit nervous. So I went to the toilet and as I've finished up, I'm like, where is everyone? And they've all gone in the meeting room. And Scotty Baker, I'm going to mention him because he's miscounted. He's meant to count everyone. He's locked the door. So I've had to go... And mate, everyone's like that way. Everyone just turns around. Who's that? I've just copped his spray already midweek. Walk in, and Ross is like, hang on a second. And he's like, Scotty, I thought you counted. And I was like, I was just in the toilet, mate. And he's like, oh, yeah, all right, mate. All right, sit down. No, it's fine. Sit down. So anyway, first quarter goes. We're down by 50. After the game, we've lost by about 100. He's kicked me off ball after about 8 minutes. And he's dropped me after JLT and he's just, I knew it wasn't right when I saw you come in late. You set the tone for the boys. Oh, mate. So that set me back about 8 weeks of AFL playing down at Mandurah.
Mandurah Gurap Drive.
Oh, so Scotty, if you can't count to 28 next time.
So the Ducks cost you there. And
he's cost myself, just time management.
You blamed the Duck a few times though, but another time Tabs cost you, this could be a bit of a late night FIFA game. He's cost you and cops have been called.
Yeah, this is
fair income story. Like the cops got called after a FIFA game. That's like anyone that knows Train, like he's competitive, like
passionate.
He'll rematch you till he wins, kind of thing. I'm the same. I'm a sucker for it. I have to play. And
yeah.
They get heated. They get real personal. But anyway, run us through the cops getting called after a FIFA match.
This is when we were real young. So like like you can see why Tabs has gone to the next level because I've left. We used to play FIFA all night, and I know we started at like 7 o'clock.
All night's 7 to it's like 3 a.m.
No. This certain occasion was, but we had training at 7 pre-season. It's real hot, beat the heat, and we're playing FIFA, and he's beaten me like. We used to play for dinners, like home cooked meals. I lived up with Clarkie and that, and he'd live there. So, obviously buying all the produce and cooking. It was just annoying cooking for someone. So we played for dinners and he's beaten me twice. I'm like, chuck Nobu in, like double or nothing, but chuck Nobu in. He's like, Train, I don't want to keep taking money off you. I was like, mate, chuck Nobu in. He pumped me again. I'm like, chuck $100 on top of that. And he's like, nah, train, that's enough. It's like 12 o'clock at night. Anyway, so we're actually playing 2K basketball.
Twisted his arm and
got like, one more, mate. He's like, train, I got to go to bed. I'm like, one more. I'm not leaving like this. He's like, one more. So anyway, I've beaten him on a buzzer beater. He's like, oh, it makes me sick. I've beaten you all night and I'm not going home with anything. I said, one more then. So anyway, played one more and I've pumped him and he's getting really angry. So he's going double or nothing. I was like, double or nothing, mate. So we're playing 2K. I'll never forget. There's 2.3 seconds to go. I've pumped it in. I remember playing with New York. They had this bloke called Novak. He used to just drain threes. I pumped it in. I'm down by 2. I was down by 2. And I've hit this buzzer beater and I've beaten him. He's like smashing this fan. You know those little white fans in his little apartment thing there? And he's smashing it. It's like 2 a.m. at night. And I'm crying. And just sitting there like, you beauty. And then all of a sudden you just hear, oi! It's the next door neighbour and Tabs goes, and he's like, what are you doing in there? I'm like, Duck, I'm getting out of here. And he's like, Train, don't leave. He goes, I've called the cops. You blokes are out of control. Because Tabs is carrying on with it. And then I go around and go, mate, it's all good. We're just playing PlayStation. He goes, PlayStation? Is that what you call it? The cops are on the way, mate. You can tell them. And I just go, Duck, I'm out of here. I'll see you at training. Oh. And the next day, rocked up and he was that high. Jesus. That's kind of like what we're up to when we're younger. I'll never forget it, man. I was just like, oh, he was filthy. He's like texting me, abusing me. Like when I got home, I was like, oh my God. So, yeah.
You've left him out to dry.
Left him to dry. They didn't rock up. The guy was just talking a bit of rubbish, but yeah, it was funny, mate. That's funny. I think we were in 1920. Glory days.
We need to take a deep breath and recalibrate now. Let's get a bit serious for a second again.
So apologies to the neighbour, mate. We can send him a sign up.
Send him some rigs, mate.
All right, have a drink, Train. We'll have a look back at last week. Obviously, we mentioned a really, really great win in Tassie, second for the club in our history. First time we got to sing the song after the Siren Gate fiasco. But Fifey's 200th. What'd you make of it?
Yeah, no, he's the star of the game himself. But no, it's a good team win and good fun game to kind of play. And first time that obviously I'd been to Tasmania, but first time we've won there in since bloody since you would have been what 30 or something, 2006. So no, it was a good win and What do you think? It's good.
Yeah, it was great. And obviously Nat started like a house on fire, and it was good to get him the ball a few times early, especially in his milestone, settle his nerves, and really put us in a good position that quarter time. So that was great. And
kicked the goal as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and a nice hang, and probably should have taken that mark in the goal square late. I think in your 200th, you're allowed to take marks in the goal square of the going through, aren't they?
Yeah.
Some big swaggies dominating. Clear correlation. Come on the pod, dominate life. So train. Trajectory's up.
Boys, kept me on every week.
Trajectory's going up, but swaggy again.
Yeah.
Absolutely annihilating the competition.
He's killing it. Yeah, he's going really well. So we love the big swag and not just playing his role, but excelling in it. So
and Banners come in first game, 3 goals. First time he's kicked multiple goals in a game, in an AFL game.
Really?
Yep.
Jeez, he pops up. Got a few nice ones, didn't he?
He did. And the big kahuna.
Slipped over.
Did
you watch that?
I love the big kahuna.
You love him,
Get
don't
him
you?
on the pod. I love him. When he slipped over, mate, that's gold. He hits it with force. Gets back up.
Absolutely wallops it, doesn't he?
Oh, wallops it. And then I think he got tunnelled later on in the game as well, or maybe earlier.
Straight back up
and smile. He's great for the club. I love watching him.
Yeah, he's going to be great. And he's only young fella still, 19, key forward.
I think he's 18, mate. I think he's 18.
18, there you go.
Big difference.
Yeah, he's a big boy. It's good.
You play many games at Tassie?
Yeah, mate.
Couple?
I think I've played one, and the other time I played, I got food poisoning, and Moores played his 100th.
Oh, right.
So Moores got his 100th because I got poisoned, which was actually great because he got the hundo. And we got walloped. We used to get walloped down there. Like when we were good, it was like really, like when I say good, we were minor premiers. So go down to Tassie and just get smashed by Hawthorn. But that's why it was great to see you guys give them a bit of a flogging for once.
Yeah, it was nice. We executed really well, so it was a good one.
Yeah. And the weather was great.
Oh, it's magic.
Yeah. What was
Spongy
it? It looked
deck,
awesome.
Like, it would have been. It was still a bit chilly. Like
would have been 14.
Was it windy?
14, 15.
No wind.
So it's normally really windy and a bit cold. Yeah, it looked good.
Coming out of because all change rooms like that are concrete boxes, so they're freezing cold inside, regardless of where you are. But as we came out onto the ground, the sun had a little bit on it.
That's great.
I don't have a little bit on it. Maybe for like a pasty bloke like
that. Couldn't
Weathered.
penetrate that
Weathered.
forearm hair of
Weathered.
yours.
Bang!
Oh, you got me there. You waiting for that one.
Big fella.
That's
Yes.
that's
good. 1-0. 1-0.
All right, we'll move into a section
low
trying we
blow.
call quick
That's a low
hands.
blow.
Yep.
We'll fire some questions at you really quick. One's immediate, short answers.
Mm-hmm.
Last time you called your mum?
Yesterday.
Favourite current day Freo player?
Oh, I love the big Glogue. Big Glogue off halfback.
Favourite ex-teammate?
Ex-team favourite. Oh, Dave, this is very tough. Oh, geez. I'll just go Dave Mundy.
Jeez, yeah. Best thing about being retired?
Less stress.
Best football moment of your career?
First game, finals. Oh, mate, tough one.
Messiest bloke in the locker room?
Messiest bloke. Jeez. Tabs.
Coffee of choice?
Yeah, just strong latte.
Last meal on earth, what would it be?
Oh, yellowtail sashimi. Love it. Just love it. Or some oysters.
Wings. What about some wings, trainer?
No, some hot wings. This is tough. This quick hand segment. There's too many answers in my head.
Is it Super Bowl? Favourite reality TV show?
Oh, don't watch it. Don't watch much.
Most used emoji.
Most used the cry face gets a run.
What, crying or cry laughing?
Oh, laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Career dreamed of as a kid?
Korea.
That you dreamed of as a kid?
Oh, yeah, it was footy. Yep.
Beauty. Where'd you used to sit in team meetings?
As far at the back as possible.
First car?
First car, 1989 Camry, similar to Griffin's. We should have had a drag race, mate. That'd be unreal.
You lived with Swaggy Onions and Brandon Materia for a while,
Yep.
Correct. Did you ever visit the supermarket?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Did you ever
Oh,
cook a
did
meal
he
in this
say?
How
house?
many times?
Oh, many. Are you serious?
Sean.
I watched Sean. He's sitting there ripping me. I used to baby him. I didn't use the bloody Australian ruckman. I've brought him off the...
Mate,
I brought him from ear to
Sean
ear.
swears by gospel. The one time you went to the shops was to impress a Sheila to cook her dinner and cook everyone else dinner, and that's it.
outrageous.
To go to the actual supermarket to buy groceries.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is what we're
I'm not a
talking.
big buy grocery man. I'm like, if I'm cooking, I'll go buy it fresh. So I don't just go like a week shopping. I just don't do that. I just still don't do
No,
that.
you never did it. That's what they're saying.
Oh, well, each to their own. I don't really care. Let's say I didn't.
Anyway, back to that.
Is that his mail? Oh, well, he's right.
At least you're honest.
Yeah. I can't really remember, but yeah, I didn't buy much.
That's right.
Now, Shane, it'd be silly of me not to mention you are wearing glasses on your face at the moment. You don't normally wear specs, but talk us through the Rixies, mate. How's Rix going?
Yeah, it's going well. Obviously full-time gig now. So yeah, these aren't prescription. These are blue light glasses. So yeah, it's kind of a new technology that not a lot of people know much about. But
Do you?
well, there's a lot of information that keeps coming through. It's the way I put it there is it is quite fascinating because if you think about I was actually going to get one of you boys to get your screen time up on your phone, for example, but you can only imagine the LED lights, the televisions, the screens, the laptops, whether you're watching a film on your phone, all of it. The amount of screen time you're consuming is not natural at all, so it kind of blocks out that. And it really assists your sleep. If you've got headaches and all that kind of stuff, it prevents them, and it really is an important way to protect your eyes because why do you think a lot of older people do have poor vision? And you'll see cheaper ones on the market, and then what I call the legit ones, and these aren't the blue light on the outside or the inside; they're built in. It's like an armor. So
I'd love to try, mate, but you don't seem to waste it on the
no,
little
that's
blokes
not
like
true.
me. It's
You're
you're going for celebrities. Like talks, you promised me all these celebrities you're going to give them to, and I've never received me pair. Actually, in defence, I've received a lot of free pairs from Train.
Can you explain to Dave like the process? So I'm in Melbourne, and I said I've got a present for the boys. Can you pick them up from the office, which is quite local, all right? So Adelaide, anyway, and Griffin then sprays me when I visit him 6 months later or 3 months or 2 months and goes, "Where are they, Train?" And I'm like, well, mate, to save me spending money on Oz Post, I'll just go pick them up.
Well,
they're waiting for the boys.
Mate, I go look for them and so they pop up on Instagram and you got celebrities. Odell Beckham Jr.'s wearing them. All these other famous models, and Logie Bear can't even get a hand pair sent. A pair of sunnies bloody sent to him to his doorstep.
I do have, so just so you know, I apologise. I didn't bring them in. I've got 2 blue light frames for you guys.
Brett, 3.
3. Let's go 3, actually.
Sorry,
you guys
mate.
are all under here. So that's what I didn't forget. There's a method to it. I want to make sure you got the right frames, right size. And yeah, I'd love you to wear them and trial them because they do really help and assist. And then and the sunglasses, I've got a box waiting for Caleb's the wrong, mate. I'll tell you what, to talk about promising the world and delivering half an atlas, mate. I've promised him like 3 times that I've got them coming and Griffin Logue's gonna deliver them. And you just
Always find a way to blame it on me though, but fair enough.
And how old is Rix now?
We turned 5 in September. So essentially 6 as well because we spent a year before we launched, and then we launched. So yeah, it's been great. It's been a journey. It's a bit like a footy career. I literally put it like that in terms of the development of it. I feel like the more experience you get, the better it gets. But I guess it's a business, but it's just growing and we're pivoting and you're bringing out new products. We've got blue light. We've got an amazing announcement coming up that I'm happy to drop here, which is prescription glasses and sunglasses. That's coming next month.
Huge.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, there's exciting things. And I know I'm bringing you guys a gift, but I've set up a specialised discount code, Dave.
Here we go.
Now, I've just called it Freo. So when you go to checkout, chuck in Freo. It's very simple. And I've made the discount code the exact amount of disposals Dave Mundy's averaging. So it's 25.9% off at checkout, mate.
Is that what it actually is?
25.9% off at checkout. All right,
Is that what
that's what he's thinking, mate. I swear to God. Any Freo fan wants anything, I've got the discount code 25.9% off at checkout if you use the code Freo. So,
easy to do. Get to the checkout. It pops up in the end. Discount code. Don't get. Is that actually Dinkum 25? That's what
Dinkum, and
that's what you're averaging.
He's averaging. I did a bit of research last night.
Might I add? It's on 60% game time as well. It's not.
Well, I was thinking that. Yeah, that's incredible. By the way.
Thanks, mate. It was a nice day.
63% game time. I mean, I've got a few questions, but I don't want to get angry. Like, what's he doing on the bench, mate? You would have had 50. Have you done the math on that?
Yeah, I know.
We're coming into a 5-day turnaround.
It's actually it's very smart, actually. Yeah. You're right.
So you mentioned, you're full-time at Rix, getting a lot of business deals done, clearly taking over. Golf, getting a lot of deals done on the golf course?
Not much deals, actually, mate. It's more meditation after a stressful day at work. Been playing a bit of golf. It's just, we played a bit when we were...
we played a bit. Don't worry about that.
Dude, that's a story. You can tell that one. Why don't you tell that one?
Oh, last time I played golf with a train, it was... What was it? Saturday. It was a beautiful day in Perth. Beautiful. Saturday, it would have been 26 degrees, like nice and sunny, light breeze coming through. Maybe like having a few beers or whatever, playing golf. Watch the train take a shot. Got steering the golf court, the cart at the moment. He's like, oh, nice shot, 4. Yeah, anyway, so move on, and I've gone to take off and steer, and I've just kind of watching train the whole time, laughing, carrying on, and me fingers kind of...
Hang on, you had it in... He thought he was in reverse, mate. He still had it forward, so he's looking back, and there's a tree right where you are.
I'm holding the steering wheel, kind of like turning it real like, suavely and nice. Like I had a bit of style to it. So I've gone turn back like that. So hang on, train, I'll come pick you up, and just gone, floored it absolutely forward, smacked into this tree, and my pinky's been stuck in the wheel, and I've kind of just like clipped it like that, and looked down and went, oh, gee, I reckon I've broken it, train.
He's done some damage to it, and guess what happens? Who were you with?
Yeah.
We train. Ross Lyon wouldn't look at me for a week.
Like, wake up.
Nothing wrong here.
Wake up the next day, and it's puffy, and I'm like, oh, geez, I should probably tell the club by now. So called the doc, sorted it out, and he said, "I'll be all good, mate. Like, might have to scan it," but rocked up, and I just said, "Mate, strap it up. I'm not missing. I can't miss training due to a golf cart incident with Tom Sheridan."
Dislocated his finger.
So pop the finger, finish the round.
Yeah, finished the round.
It was actually the 9th.
It was on. Luckily, we only played 9, but
yeah, Griff was pretty rattled. I was pretty rattled for him.
Did the equivalent? It's like the equivalent of your ACL for your pinky. That's what they said it was. So for anyone watching, you can pull it all the way out.
Yeah,
can't feel.
But loving golf.
And how's it going? Trajectory up or down?
No, I'm getting better.
Yeah,
but I need lessons. I just need to fix a few things.
Do you play enough to have a handicap? We've had a few keen golfers on.
I haven't got my handicap yet. I want to get a little bit better.
Yeah.
So it's good. But yeah, I definitely play with a lot of blokes that do. They're actually playing with mates that are very good helps. It's like a bit of a lesson whilst playing. It's good.
Yeah. And in the last couple of years, especially under these COVID times, you've been jet setting a bit, avoiding lockdowns and
couch surfing.
Couch surfing, outstaying welcomes at different places.
Yeah.
Have you got a place of residence? Where would you say you live? What state?
Nah, it's tough. I moved to Melbourne after Sydney, so last year. And then there's been 2 little mini lockdowns in Melbourne. And with work, we do a lot of photo shoots with like really, real high-end photographers that are based around Australia, whether they're in Gold Coast or Sydney, and also the weather. So like the weather's a big factor. So Sydney and especially Gold Coast, it's always good weather. So you're flying a fair bit. So I am in Melbourne at my mate's house, the Big Risk. Yeah, no, I'm living with him, and I've hardly been home. I was saying I've paid 3 months rent. I haven't been home because I had to go to Gold Coast for a photo shoot, and then I couldn't fly back to Melbourne and then come here because I had all our new product rocked up and needed to go through that. So I was living with Brandon Ellis and my mate Benny up there. So yeah, a bit of couch surfing, but I'll make sure I look after him in the long haul.
And all these different places, do they compare to your place with Toby Green, the best street in Sydney?
Yeah, Sydney's great. Nah, probably not, mate. I reckon Sydney's probably the most livable, busy. It's got a bit of Perth, like it's amazing beaches, great vibes, little pockets as well. It's quite, like I said, it's kind of got everything. Melbourne, I haven't really experienced Melbourne. As I said, I haven't been home, and it's just coming out of all this lockdown stuff. So everyone's starting to open up, and Perth's beautiful as well. A bit quieter here, and then Gold Coast is a bit different as well, but it's nice. They're all kind of. I think Sydney's the most livable. Yep,
and you're a giving man with your time and friendship. And do you want to talk us through the Fremantle Players Community Giving program that you're a big part of?
Yeah,
in your time here.
Yeah, it's great. We're all back together. The band's back. Voice. It was I was saying to Griff, I haven't reflected much on my time. I mean, anyone listening, I never my Freo days when I ended, it was probably the hardest times of my life because I never got to. I think I'm a man of the people. I obviously didn't produce much on the field. I didn't play as many games as you should as a first rounder. But what I would have loved to do was say thank you, and things like the community giving that we set up, us three, especially you and Matty that started it, and I kind of jumped in when he left. We did a fantastic job. For anyone listening, it's player driven, it's player funded. We go to the communities. We would sit down, wouldn't we? We'd go down to Gesher. Yep. We'd sit down. We'd talk about our favourite project up and coming, Night Hoops, PCYC. All these beautiful kids that don't have. I guess we just look after them with these resources, and to be able to put all these projects together and all this time and energy and doing we did a fundraiser and we all put together a fantastic night, raised a lot of money.
Funny night. It's a good night.
Great night, funny night. And then we went to the PCYC. I still remember it was one of the, talk about what's a big memory. These things is what I love, the impact we had on the community. And then going down to PCYC and seeing all these kids run around and, Aaron Sandlands and Ballas on the Barbie and sumo wrestling and Griff being a clown and all of us getting around playing basketball with the kids. All these programs we set up, and then just to be delisted and not, I was in Melbourne, I got delisted. These are the things that hurt me a lot as well, not being able to say goodbye and, then hand it over, you guys are looking after it. But yeah, that was amazing. Part of my life, and I love giving back, and you could see the impact on the kids' faces. They'd walk out, we'd give them a signed hat or whatever it was, and they're the things that players should be doing. They do a lot of, and they should continue to do it.
Yeah. Well, you're a big part of that, mate. So, your efforts certainly aren't overlooked within our circles. So, thanks for that.
We love your energy, mate.
Where is that at? What are you? Have you got some cool projects coming up?
Yeah, we've been COVID interrupted, everyone last year and stuff, and we're just kind of picking up the pieces now and seeing where we can take it. But there's still some things in the works. So.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Anyway, back to our living arrangements. Trainer talked about people you've lived with along the journey. It's been a fair few housemates for
heaps.
you. How many? It'd be 20, but you
heaps.
You look at them and kind of a few of late have really kind of developed under your kind of tutelage into so far one All-Australian, soon to be two with Sean Darcy. Live with Lukey Ryan, he's turned into an All-Australian.
Live with Lukey, baby.
Sean Darcy's
Coxie was there a fair bit, baby.
Sean Darcy's he's shaping up to having a hell of a season, could be All-Australian. Do you take kind of credit for this, or is it kind of like make 100 calls, one person's going to call you back? If you live with 30 blokes, someone's bound to be All-Australian.
It's a numbers game.
Is that what it is?
Nah, definitely not. I do, as I said, pride myself on getting around the younger guys. I reckon when you're a young guy, the times have changed. Back in the older days, you'd hear stories. They'll find their way. It's a bit more ruthless, but more chuck the arm around them and show them the ropes. I mean, I did that with you as well. Very, we got along really well when you're younger. But yeah, the younger guys coming through, you'd be silly to not get right around them because they're the future. And getting them to get out of themselves, experience. I actually listened to Sean's like, Tommy would only go to this cafe and that. You just try to teach them just to be premium operators. You want to be eating good, drinking good coffee, but obviously
yellow lollies,
training hard. But the big thing is when they have a setback. I remember Sean when he got injured. It's just like, I was lucky I didn't have any setbacks, but my setbacks were getting dropped every third week. So being able to deal with that, talk to them through that. Everyone's from, not everyone, but a lot of players aren't from WA. You're very lucky. There's not many that are local talent. So when you're away from your family and you're only 18, 19, 20, you need players to get around you. And I don't think I'm intimidating because I wasn't your captain. I wasn't in your leadership group. So players would open up a bit to me and I'd be able to help them out. And mate, to see them all dominating and maturing and becoming, really good players, it's great. That's why I love watching and I can't wait to watch live.
That's why we love you, Train, why we get you back on. You are a man of the people, mate, always got our back. But back to the housemates anyway, which one's your funniest group that you live with and kind of just gone, gee whiz, there's some funny blokes.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I had so many good memories growing up. Like I can't answer.
You're gonna have to answer it,
the
mate.
Best time. When I say the best times, when I was young and very when I say young and just more like had no idea. Just all I would do was train and then go and just play games, PlayStation. We'd play tennis. Like just got everything right. So Chris Mayne. This is when Chris Mayne was just an absolute weapon, and he was like the best host. We'd always live in a good pad, and he'd pay more, and we'd have the average room out the back, but it always had like a nice tennis court, and we'd always be allowed to bring people over, and it was FIFA comps, it was like feeds, whatever. So that when we lived together, that was pretty good. We had a bit of a madhouse, and we used to play backyard cricket for 3 hours like every night in the summer, and then in winter it was more these soccer games, and all those kind of days were great, but to pinpoint one housemate, it's too tough.
It's hard to get a touch on all the best memories, but I've got a few good memories just with you, Train. We've been away overseas a few times, and one of the thing that sticks out for me was just your outgoingness and how you can, I'm not sure that's a word, outgoingness, but your ability to kind of just put yourself out there. One of the first things that I saw was sitting at a restaurant and you having a nice sit down dinner overseas and ask for a bottle of red, and the Train would just like these poor old waiters. They wouldn't know what's coming for them. Like it's the first time I'd kind of experienced kind of Tabs is sitting at the table as well. He's like, going, do it, Tommy, do it. Moose is sitting at the back going, I don't know. Talk us through what you do with her.
Oh, we just used to love making people feel uncomfortable, like Griffin's sake. So Tabs and Moose knew what was coming. We'd go to a nice restaurant. We're in Barcelona. And we're all excited, and Griff's like, "What do we order?" I'm like, "I got the order. Don't worry, we will get the bottle of Pinot." And come out, and they're like, "Would you like to try it, sir?" And I was like, "Yeah, definitely." And so Griffin's looking at me. He's like, "What's he doing here?" So I was just like, just give it a little swig, a little sniff, like mucking around. And anyway, we'd like drink it, and what's in that, mate? And like look up, but more so looking at Griff, and Griff's just like, is this bloke serious? And then we'd all be like, we're only joking, mate.
The poor old waiter's sitting there like, are you sure? And Train's going, oh, mate, this cork's bloody rotten. This is...
like, I just never, and I'm only joking, man. Then we give him a good tip, but I was like, what are the, I guess I just love to know the percentages of someone literally sitting there saying, no, take it back and get me another one. So we kind of ran with that when we were in Europe. It's pretty poor.
It got like ridiculous and outrageous in the end. I mean, we'd go to the next restaurant another night and just be kind of waiting around like, oh, geez, who's going to do it?
Yeah,
and then it'd be like, Taz would be like, I'll taste it, mate. Give it the old, no, oh, mate. Big, like, he's a monster. He's a big, loud
really
voice.
Like, I'd do it in 5 seconds. He'd go for like 40 seconds. We're like,
this bloke's rethinking his life as a waiter. Like, oh, this Aussie's been absolutely.
Mate, call it. It's going for too long. And the guy would, when the next bottle come out, we're like, oh, he's probably spat in it or something.
Get to the stage and be like, oh, geez, you've just ruined it, Tabs.
Yeah, just funny pranks like that. They're pretty harmless.
Yeah, it's one of me. That's one of the old timers, I reckon.
And we mentioned collegiate footy earlier. Have you played any games?
Yeah, I played 5. And I've unfortunately been away for a bit. It does like
boat parties.
I had one, but the year hasn't. because I had pre-arranged. Now there's things that I've already booked after finishing up. So unfortunately, I've had that, and then obviously, as I said, I had to juggle that flight. I couldn't go to Melbourne here for product development and all that stuff. So yeah, I think there's 6 games when I get back. They're in a bye now, and I'll play the last 6, so I'll get 11 out. And it's been a tough year for the boys. We've only won 1 game, so we're actually going to be fighting for relegation. So my purpose is to get back there, and not that I'll do much. I'll tell you what, I haven't changed direction for 7 weeks, but we'll see what I can do straight line, and hopefully we can survive.
Well, all the best with relegation. I was going to bring this up with Moose Pierce a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't think he was worthy to talk about this chat. But part of NFL fantasy with some old guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk us through about
you love your NFL, don't you, Train?
I love it, yeah. If you said it's NFL, I love NFL. I mean, it's probably the greatest thing that you can do is set up a fantasy group, NFL. A lot of the older players, me and Moose are probably the youngest. Dave's in there. A lot of old Freo players, and yeah, it's the WhatsApp, NFL, all the news, the games. I love the sport. I love the players. I love what they're about. They're kind of like their own brand and businesses. They're almost bigger than the game. Some of them.
Few boys in it. Who's on top? Like top of the ledger. Who's
the best couple?
Well, consistently, Zach Dawson's the commissioner, so he's always probably the most educated on everything. Yeah. Which is Dave's the assistant of.
Clever.
Yeah.
I've won one, so I can say that I'm up there. Nick Subin won last year.
Yeah,
Zach Clark's consistently pretty good. Cam Sutcliffe's consistently poor.
Yeah.
And then, Alex Pearce.
You mentioned Moose.
The big Moose had a stinker last year, but he does buy in. Everyone buys in. That's the thing. Everyone buys in with their time and energy, which is what I love.
He's the newest member of that group, though, isn't he? He's a couple of years in now, but he hasn't been out of the bottom couple, has he?
Nah, he's been down the bottom. So we had relegation. And Griffin, if you were interested, Moose would be the one you'd be fighting for a spot with. He'll hate hearing that, the big Moose. But it's good. It's something that you look forward to, and it's a great way to keep in contact with everyone.
Have you invested in any fantasy podcasts yet?
Mate, I've got something in the works. I'm setting something up at the moment. I believe that Australia is lacking a one-stop shop NFL Australian community where, you can get to that, where there's a show and there's a fantasy and there's a tipping comp and all that. I've got all these plans to do something. I was actually chatting to Benny Graham when I saw him at a Super Bowl party in Melbourne. I would have asked him 1,000 questions. He had his ring on, and I think it was AFC title, whatever the championship ring, and I think it's AFC, NFC, which one, whatever, the Arizona Cardinals. But it's impressive, mate. Just the ring and just the stories, and just fascinated because it's such a ruthless business. So there's just it's interesting hearing stories.
Yeah, nice. Watch this space.
Beautiful.
And this week we've got our Starlight Purple Haze game. You've played in a few of those.
Seen the ones?
Yeah, love them.
Presented by South 22. This year's obviously a really special night for the club. Thursday night primetime footy. I'm not sure we've had a Thursday night game before, but
I've never played a Thursday, Friday, or anything. I reckon that'd be first Saturday night game last week. So
did you?
Yeah, I think so.
That's great. Thursday night football.
Normally Sunday hours, like 3 p.m.
Does not get any bigger. There'll be a few haircuts, I reckon. You watch the boys will rock up. Geez, nice little fade there, mate.
Yeah. So anyway, Thursday night,
and we've got some special jumpers this year, designed by Joel and Tess, Millie's brother and sister.
Yep.
We wore them this morning, and you're a Starlight ambassador, Griff.
Yep. So came into that role. I think it was my first year at the club. I replaced. I think it was Alex Silvani in the spot for that ambassador role. So it's obviously a big game for me, and as a member of being an ambassador at the club, it's definitely important day on the calendar for us as well. And really good cause. It's going to be a big game as well. We had Millie Lucas's family kind of at the training today, kind of watching, and it's kind of just exciting really. It's obviously, as I said, a big day on the calendar, and hopefully we can kind of get in and get the job done for a great cause as well. But at the same time, it's brighter and bigger things than that, kind of raising a lot of money for such a good cause, and we'll make a big difference.
And what did you make of the jumpers this morning?
Yeah, wicked. So they actually designed them themselves, the kids. So pretty awesome to do that. They got 7 stars on the front for Fifey. So shout out Fifey. Oh, we're still getting around, but it's really really nice and something. We've got a little one of Millie on the front here, so we have idea of it's have Millie in our hearts at all times. So it's pretty confronting still, the whole idea of it, but at the same time it's such a good cause. So
she's a wonderful young girl. And we got to meet her a few times and meet her family, obviously, who are great people. So it's a great cause, and great that they can be involved in such a big night. And those jumpers, just a reminder, those jumpers will be sold at auction with all proceeds going to Starlight in the coming weeks. So feel free to get behind that and support us. And
as you said, Thursday night footy, bloody
does not get any bigger.
The Starlight Purple Haze game as well is one that's really grown each year for the Fremantle Football Club. We see it as one of our marquee games of the year. So,
what is it? I think we said it's 19 years. It's been going on. So
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great cause. And we're up against the Tricky Cats. Tommy, got any tips for the boys?
Tricky cats. Yeah, they used to be tricky, didn't they? we used to go well against the Cats. We still do. We've got a great record. I used to love playing the Cats. No, just do what you did last week, Dave. If JL play David Mundy for 93% game time. Not 63 in this one.
He's got a 9-day break. He's got a 9-day break.
9-day break. So
playing
go
for
hard.
100%.
I'd love to see Fifey forward a bit more, take some more hangs.
What about Gloggy? You haven't mentioned.
I'd actually love to see Glog forward, but at the moment we need to wait for Big Coxie to come back. But I do.
Joel Hamlin.
We've seen Glog forward. Do you remember?
Yeah, this is a big wiry. He you got some big hops. You just still timing.
One goal, 3 in his first ever game forward, and
that's what I mean.
Next week I'm put back and bloody.
Exciting.
JK and I'm dropped.
Oh mate, don't worry. It's just the way it is.
Has it been dropped? Jeez, you're talking the wrong bloke.
No, I'd love to see the big fella forward. Because you think about it, like Aaron Norton. You know Aaron because obviously he played with us at Peel, but he was a back. And then he went forward, and Griff's got the same attributes. So I'd love to see Griff thrown forward, especially late in games when you might be down by 2 goals and there's 3 minutes to go. Just chuck the big fella forward
Launch
bit of X factor.
Yeah, X factor. Just play just with no idea. Just go for every mark. I'd love to see you flying around packs. But
he's good at playing with no idea.
Yeah, on and off.
Aren't you boys just legends, eh?
Nah, it's gonna be exciting. I can't wait.
And you're coming?
I'm coming, yeah. I can't wait.
You mentioned the past players function.
Yeah, there's a past players function. And
any idea of who's going?
I had dinner with Spurry last week. He'll be there. He's probably commentating and whatnot.
Anyone else?
Sorry, Spurry. I ran into Ibo. Big shout out to Ibo. I hope he's recovering well. He actually had some surgery on his hip, so hope he's doing well. So I'm not sure if he'll be there, but hopefully see some old heads and have a good chat.
Hopefully Nick Subban pops his head up. It'd be nice to see him.
Yeah,
he's a mysterious man now.
Yeah, see him once a year.
All right, well, that's about us, I reckon, for this pod.
Yeah.
Oh,
how'd you go?
Did you? Is a special guest coming?
No, he couldn't make it.
Oh, Peter Bell couldn't make it.
Nah, he's dodging you, mate.
Oh, look, Peter, if you're listening, I don't know. I'm not going to text you anymore. I apologise for the 10 unanswered texts, mate. But look, mate, David deserves another year. I don't care. You guys sort the cash out. He needs a year. The boys want it. The fans want it. I'm speaking on behalf of all the fans.
The men of the people.
Peter, give David Mundy an extension on behalf of the whole community. Do not cut this out. I'm speaking on behalf of the whole community. I'm sorry to embarrass you, Dave. He wants another one. Give the man what he wants. Anyway, thanks for having me, boys.
Legend, mate. Thank you. Get off Griff's couch.
Thanks for coming down. Good on your train. Good to see you, brother.
Appreciate your time, mate. Thank you very much. And to the Purple Army, let's pack out the Optus Stadium
Thursday night.
night.
Pack it out.
Yeah.
And if you haven't listened, like and subscribe.